This is the Char-Broil Performance Series TRU-Infrared 3-burner gas grill, and my first thought was how clean and modern it looks without taking over the patio. The stainless steel finish feels sturdy but not bulky. The cabinet base rolls smoothly and doesn't wobble, and the handle stays comfortable to grab, even when the lid is hot. It weighs close to 95 pounds, which sounds heavy on paper, but the casters make it easy to shift around when I need to move it. Key features that stand out for me are the TRU-Infrared system, 3 main burners with an extra side burner, about 600 square inches of total cooking space, porcelain-coated cast iron grates, and a cabinet design that keeps the propane tucked away. The setup is simple. I hook the propane tank, open the gas, push the ignition, and it lights consistently. The knobs turn smoothly, and the lid thermometer is good enough for everyday cooking. Not lab grade, but I can trust it to know when the heat is in the zone. From my experience, the TRU-Infrared part isn't just marketing. If you're new to it, here's the basic idea. There's an emitter plate between the flame and your food. That plate catches the heat, spreads it out, and helps vaporize drippings. The benefit is even heating and fewer flare-ups. Flames don't lick your food directly, so you don't get those sudden bursts that char the outside and dry out the inside. I've grilled chicken thighs, skirt steak, burgers, and a pretty packed batch of veggies. I noticed juicier results, especially with leaner cuts and anything that usually dries out fast. Searing is solid too. I get grill marks and browning without that crusty, dried edge I've seen on older grills. The cooking area is genuinely roomy for a backyard grill. It's about 600 square inches total, with a primary grate and a warming rack. The brand says it holds around 16 burgers. That sounds right. I rarely go that big, but I like having a steak zone on one side and a veggie zone on the other. For anyone new to zones, it just means setting one side hotter for searing and keeping the other side cooler for gentler cooking. The separate warming rack is great for buns, finished skewers, or for holding wings while the last batch finishes. The porcelain-coated cast iron grates help with cleanup and hold heat well. Food releases easier than bare cast iron once the grates are hot. Preheating is the only thing that surprised me a bit. It's not slow, but it's not the fastest I've used either. For me, it takes just under 10 minutes for the grates to get nicely hot. Once it's there, the heat is steady, and I don't feel like I'm chasing temperatures. I prefer waiting that extra couple of minutes if it means I can focus on cooking instead of babysitting hot and cold spots. The side burner ended up being more useful than I expected. I use it to simmer sauce, boil a small pot of water, or sauté onions and peppers while the main grill is loaded. It feels like a little outdoor kitchen setup. Having all 4 control knobs lets me run different temperatures at once. I'll sear steaks on high over the main grates and keep veggies or corn resting at a lower temp, then finish with a quick burst of heat where needed. Cleaning is manageable. The porcelain coating on the grates makes stuck bits easier to brush off once they cool slightly. The grease tray slides out and catches most of the mess. One tip from my own trial and error: if drippings pool under the emitter plate, I can get some smoke, especially on the next cook. Giving the plate and grates a quick brush before firing it up helps a lot. I keep a grill brush nearby and do a short cleanup while the metal is still warm, and that keeps things from building up. Durability was a concern I saw in reviews before I bought it. Rust can show up if it's left uncovered and wet. In my opinion, a cover is non-negotiable if the grill lives outside. I keep it covered and give it a light wipe after use. So far, I haven't seen anything serious, just normal wear from heat and weather. I also like that the cabinet has enough space for the propane tank and a few tools. It's not huge, but it keeps the essentials close. The side shelves are roomy enough for trays and seasonings, and I don't find myself running back inside as much. On heat control, I get good range for steaks, chicken, fish, and vegetables, but it's not designed to replace a dedicated smoker or a multi-fuel setup. I can do indirect heat for slower cooks, but the control feel is more set it and cook than super fine-tuned micro-adjustments. That said, the even heat from the infrared plate and the lack of flare-ups make the actual cooking feel easier, especially for beginners who hate burning food while learning the grill's personality. From my experience, the real value here is predictable results. I don't need to fight the grill to keep things juicy, and I don't have to stand guard over surprise flames. It's also a friendly grill to start with if you're new to propane. The ignition is reliable, the knobs are clear, and the layout is straightforward. I appreciate that I can cook a full meal, protein, sides, and sauce, without juggling space or making a mess of the kitchen. It's perfect for someone who wants smooth, even grilling for family meals or small gatherings, with enough room to do multiple foods at the same time. If your priority is quick, consistent weeknight cooking and weekend burgers and steaks, it's right in the sweet spot. If you're chasing advanced smoking techniques or want to switch fuels, that's not its lane. I'd recommend this for casual grillers who want an easy, reliable propane setup, and for anyone a bit more experienced who cares about even heat but doesn't want a steep learning curve. In my opinion, the TRU-Infrared system delivers on the promise of fewer flare-ups and juicier food. The side burner adds real convenience, and the overall design feels solid for the price. In conclusion, I like how it looks, I like how it cooks, and I like that cleanup doesn't become a weekend project. Preheating takes a few extra minutes and I stay on top of brushing the emitter plate, but the upside is steady temps and food that turns out the way I want. If you want a straightforward gas grill that gives you more control over flare-ups and helps you get consistent results, this checks the box. I will leave detailed information about the Char-Broil Performance Series TRU-Infrared 3-burner gas grill in the comments for your reference. Thank you for watching.